to F-Bomb Friday. I am your host, Tracy Preston, along with my husband, Todd. Hey, hon.
Hey, baby.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
Let's hit it. You've driven Michigan's back roads at night, right? So you know that slicing beam of headlights cutting through black woods, hoping nothing leaps out in front of your grill. A breeze slides through the cracked window. The woods are silent until they're not, and then there it is. At first you swear it's just a deer, the familiar shape of Michigan's white-tailed deer silhouette, frozen in the beam of your headlights. But something about it makes your stomach drop. Something is wrong. The legs look off. The eyes stare back at you. The way it stands, the way it watches you. It's not like any deer you've ever seen. It's a deer-shaped thing, but it isn't a deer. This is what folks online have been buzzing about. A cryptid that looks like what you would expect in the Michigan woods, but twisted just enough to make your brain refuse the classification. On today's episode of F-Bomb Friday, we're talking about the not deer. All the way from a modern online legend to the wild possibility that Michigan roads and woods have hosted something uncanny in the night. The not deer isn't an old indigenous legend passed down through generations. It's not carved into century-old lore books. It's modern mythology, a cryptid that arose in the age of Reddit threads, Tumblr posts, TikTok videos, and internet storytelling. It is described as, at first glance, appearing like a typical deer, the animal most associated with the rural America's woods. But upon closer look, something about its anatomy just doesn't add up. The legs might bend wrong or seem double jointed. Movement may seem jerky or unnatural. Its eyes aren't on the sides of its head like a normal deer. They face forward, more like a predator. Now, some accounts even describe the creature standing upright or bounding oddly on hind legs. Witnesses describe an unsettling feeling that the creature isn't just an animal, but something that watches you. The term not deer has only been in use since around the late 2000s and really exploded online after 2018, making it a cryptid of the internet age. Yet, because deer are everywhere in the American heartland, especially in Michigan, the legend crosses digital borders into the Midwest fast. Online culture is where the not deer took shape. Tumblr posts defined it. Tumblr reblogs spread it. Reddit threads shared first-person encounters, short and eerie. TikTok hashtags like #NotDeer racked up millions of views as people shared videos, memes, and lore. Folk artists who've investigated it say the name Not Deer isn't in traditional folklore archives. It's a product of internet storytelling, community building, and collective fear of the woods at night. This means the Not Deer isn't rooted in centuries-old tales. It's an emergent legend of the digital era. Its growth follows the path of other modern cryptids, shared experience, crowd participation, and that uncanny feeling that something out there just doesn't fit. Why did this creature take shape as a deer-like entity? Because deer are everywhere. In Michigan, deer are almost background scenery on the roads at dusk, on forest edges, at the edge of your headlights. They are familiar, they are real, and their sudden appearance in headlights at night is enough to stop your heart. And that familiarity, that normalcy, is precisely what the Not Deer corrupts. Imagine seeing something that your brain expects to categorize instantly, but at the last second refuses to fit the mold. That uncanny valley. The moment when something is almost familiar, but deeply wronged. It is what makes the Not Deer so unsettling. It is nature turned slightly sideways. Now, let's get down to the rumor mill. There are no widely published, fully verified sightings of the Not Deer in Michigan's folklore archives, but the internet has threads and stories. One Reddit thread from a user claiming a relative saw a Not Deer late at night on a lightly wooded road in Michigan. They describe the animal standing still, but with blank white sockets where eyes should be, and the witness insisting it was not just a normal deer. Now, stories like this float through cryptid forums and niche paranormal message boards. It's impossible to verify, yet gripping in their imagery. Another Reddit thread discusses strange creatures seen darting out behind deer herds late at night in the Michigan woods. Dark, leathery silhouettes mistaken for large canines were moving with uncanny speed and an unfamiliar gait. Now, these aren't mainstream reports, far from it, but they are the kind of tales that grow into late night campfire speculation and eventually podcast conversations. So what's real? What is misidentification? Is folklore bleeding into truth? We'll get to that. But before going fully occult, let's talk about science and biology. Now, deer do exhibit strange behavior under certain conditions, such as chronic wasting disease or CWD. It is a real prion disease that affects deer neurologically, changing behavior, movement, and demeanor, even causing them to approach humans or act erratically. Episodic hemorrhagic disease, or EHD, is another disease known to cause odd behavior and physical abnormalities in deer. And there are also deer with severe injuries or deformities, like cactus bucks, where antlers fail to develop normally, or double jointed limbs after injury. Now, that can look very strange. Now, these are mundane reasons that could explain some alleged sightings, but they don't explain the eerie intelligence, the forward-facing eyes, the non-deer-like behavior, or the stories of something that looks right at you without fear. Now that's where the legend steps in. Folklore evolves to fill gaps in experience. For Native American legends, the woods are filled with spirits and beings beyond the natural world. While the not deer isn't part of historical Native lore, there is resemblance to shape-shifter narratives, reflections of skinwalker myths, or woodland spirits tap into a deep human fear of what lurks just beyond understanding. Now, many online storytellers describe the not deer as not just wrong, but predatory, as if it's an intelligence that learned how to mimic a deer, but doesn't quite have it right yet. Some go further, describing it as a mimic predator, something that uses familiarity to lure you closer before showing you its true nature. Now, of course, there is no documented scientific evidence of any of this. And that's exactly the kind of creature that thrives in folklore. Not because it's proven, but because it feels possible in the right moment, in the right woods, with headlights flickering just so. Michigan is prime territory for legends like this. We have endless woods in the Upper Peninsula. We have hidden back roads in the Lower Peninsula, game areas, forest edges, and wetlands. Out here, isolation blurs the edge between reality and imagination. And when an animal stands in the beam of your headlights, watching you, that's when the mind starts reaching for explanations, from the mundane to the mystical. The not deer legend reminds us that folklore isn't about what's real. It's about what our minds do with what we see in the dark. So, here's the truth. There is no scientific proof that a cryptid called the not deer haunts Michigan roads. There is no field guide entry, no preserved specimen, no verified wildlife footage. But the legend persists, because every deer you see at night could just not be a deer. Because the woods make shadows that fool your eyes. Your brain wants to categorize, and when it can't, it tells a story. And that story is where something familiar becomes deeply, profoundly wrong. And that is the heart of every good cryptid tale. So the next time you're driving down a rural Michigan road at dusk, keep both eyes on the tree line. And if something steps out, stares right back and doesn't flee? Well, maybe it's just a deer. Or maybe it's not. Well, hun, the not deer.
The not deer, yes. Isn't that crazy?
I love the name.
I do too. It's so simple.
It is not
Yeah.
deer.
Yeah. It can be confusing because people would say, well, if it's not a deer, then what is it? Well, it's the not deer.
But what is it?
Not deer.
It's not deer.
It's not deer. I got to tell you, this is a new fear unlocked because being someone that drives at night frequently, I'm always scanning back and forth, watching for deer, and anybody in Michigan deals with this, really. But now I have to look out for the not deer as well.
I know, on top of all of it. And that artwork that you did is quite frightening.
Yeah, I went by all the descriptions and just tried to put it all together into one cohesive design, and that's what I came up with.
Like its eyes forward facing? That's a little creepy.
That is very creepy. Can you imagine actually encountering this thing out in the woods?
No. Especially with its back legs bent the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's straight up alien.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why people would see a deer that doesn't look quite right. This one's a little bit different. There's a lot more to explain about it that has not been explained, so.
Well, it's a great story, hun.
It is a great story. I think it's kind of funny that we just had venison for dinner the other night, and I was like, am I eating a not deer right now?
It is not the not deer.
It is not the not deer.
I hope not. Either way, it was good. Venison still be venison.
Yeah.
Is it not venison?
It's not venison.
Love it.
Hey, maybe there should be like a company out there or somebody, a hunter that could capitalize on this and make not jerky.
There you go. So do you want to sign us out?
I sure do. You better lock your doors. You better lock your windows. And you might want to check under your bed.
But I'm not checking under my bed anymore.
You're not checking under your bed.
Those days are gone.
Those days are gone.
So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. And we will see you again on Malice Monday.
We'll see you on Monday.